We good. This is the House of Boom podcast. I'm your host, Derek Boom Salary, in the building. A Wellness Wednesday. I got some fun, exciting, interesting guests. Why do I call them interesting? Because I've known this guy for a short amount of time, but I feel like we vibe from the minute we've met. And the beautiful thing is that he's into fitness. I'm heavy into fitness, and he's doing a lot, helping change lives. He's a firefighter. He's got a place that he works out at. I'm mixing stuff up. He got the DJ business, and then he's training people. Yo, when do you sleep? That's the real question. Yeah. But we're gonna get to that in a second. But more interesting than anything, 2026 is a year of, I guess, surprises or a year of results. That's what we'll call it. 2026 is a year of results because you put in the work and you get the results. And the Indiana Hoosiers, y'all know who I'm talking about. They won the national championship. The one that nobody saw coming. Yeah, last year they made the playoffs. They did their thing. They got in there. They got in the dance. Then, Notre Dame, walked them out. This year they came back with a vengeance. And yeah, everybody looked at their schedule and was like, I don't know about this squad. But then they got in the dance, and they showed up, and they showed out. But guess what? This whole season, I had somebody trolling me, telling me, yo.
That's right.
Coach Curt Cignetti going to smoke the opponents like a pack of ciggies.
Yes.
They just talking crazy. And I'm like, yo, nah, Indiana?
Yeah.
Indiana?
Yeah.
But now they are national champions. Mendoza and them boys went off the other day. They did their thing. Miami made it interesting. I'm glad it was a good game. Mm-hmm. Even though Indiana was blowing people out all the way through the playoffs. But I'm glad that, Miami made it interesting. But I have brought to you the only Indiana fan I know that's in the state of New Jersey that I know of. There's probably some around. But
Sounds like hate right there. Sounds like hate.
Yeah. No hate. Because the thing is, you weren't a bandwagon, right? You kept that energy through the whole season.
I'm going to explain to you exactly how this even came about.
Okay.
Traditionally, I do not have a college team that I can say, this is my team.
Okay.
Right? And when I grew up, I was a big East fan, like the old school Big East when you had Miami, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, UConn. Yeah. I loved all those teams because those are some of the teams that I wanted to hopefully play for one day.
Right.
The Michael Vick era, Beamer Ball.
Right.
When Miami was killing it with the Ray Lewises and the Jonathan Vilmas and all them.
Yep.
That was like, I grew up watching that, so I love that. I love Miami, so let's not get it twisted.
Right.
I'm going to sit here and say I'm not necessarily a Indiana fan.
Okay.
I am a Curt Cignetti fan.
Oh.
Curt Cignetti goes somewhere else next year.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to follow him and be a fan of that team as well.
Okay.
So Indiana, I've never even looked at Indiana a day in my life.
Okay.
What caught me was last year, I had no idea who this dude was. I saw a TikTok video. Mm-hmm. The famous Google Me shit. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He's talking crazy, but I like it. I like that energy.
Right.
And then I did some research, and I said, this motherfucker is blowing out teams that he's not supposed to blow out. Mm-hmm. There's something here. Let me pay attention.
Okay.
I've watched every single televised Indiana game since I've heard that Google Me statement, and I've just watched them blow out teams with less talent. Like, they had less talent than the teams they were blowing out. Mm-hmm. I said, there's something here. Mm-hmm. This guy is different. It's not the players necessarily. It's the coach. The coach is getting these guys to just believe and tap in a way I've never seen before. I love it. Mm-hmm. So I just started following them, and I'm just watching everybody who just is so caught up in brands and who used to be the truth and the traditional Bamas and the Michigans. They're stuck on that.
Yeah.
I've always been an underdog guy.
Gotcha.
Who's rooting for the underdog. I want the guy that nobody sees coming, just punch you in your face and knock you out.
Okay.
And that's more so where I'm a fan of Indiana comes from than it is actually being a true Hoosiers fan.
No. Okay. No. Hey, listen. The beautiful thing is I've been in a position to attend a university that caught lightning in the bottle. Mm-hmm. I went to Rutgers. I went to JUCO first, and then I transferred to Rutgers. fun, interesting, weird story. My boy, you know Kai Scott.
Yes.
He was on. We both went to JUCO together. I took a year off from school.
Yeah, okay.
I took a year off from school, but in that year off, Kai was on the team. Kai invited me to a game. He put me on the Friends and Family. Somehow, some way, they gave me a media pass. I'm gonna show you the picture later. They gave me a media pass, so I'm on the sideline. It's they had this receiver named Trez Moses, and Trez Moses was going up against Darrell Revis at Pittsburgh. They won that game. Now remember, Rutgers wasn't nothing when we was growing up. They had Mike McMahon one year, and that was cool, but they ain't really have nobody was checking for them.
Nope.
And guess what? We became the underdogs. And at that day, I decided I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna walk on here, which I did. And it was cool because I was like, I caught that lightning in the bottle. So I was there when they had the Louisville game and they went crazy and nobody expected it. I also was there the next week when they stuck it up against Cincinnati.
You was there with Ray Rice,
yeah.
Twins, and
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just being in that, I remember I wasn't on the team yet for the thing. That was that fall when they played Louisville. I remember going to class and I took this bus that goes through all the campuses. I had to take the bus that goes around all the campuses and going by the Rutgers Stadium and seeing people sleeping outside for tickets.
It's crazy.
And then I was like, yo, I got off the bus. I didn't even go, let's go take sidebar. But I ended up getting the ticket for the game and I was like, yo, and I remember watching the game. I remember getting a ticket for the game, selling my ticket because I'm such a football player. I can't be in the stands, and then watching it in my room, my dorm room, and I remember me calling each other because he lived on another campus because he stopped being on the team by that point, and then he was still at Rutgers, and we calling each other like, yo, they going crazy, hearing the cannons going off. Every time, at Rutgers, when you score a touchdown, the cannons go off. Hear the cannons going off. Leaving. I remember I threw an after party. I called it the after Louisville Bash after party or something like that. Huh?
Was a party promoter too?
That just for that one day. My boy had a house. Yeah. My boy had a house, and he was like, "Yo, boom, can you help me promote this joint?" Because he didn't go to Rutgers, but he lived in one of the houses that's off campus. So he's like, "Yo." I call it the After Bash Louisville Smash. So After Smash Louisville Bash. That's what I called it. And walking down College Avenue and seeing people throw TVs out the window and all this other stuff because they beat a top team in the nation. So all I'm saying is all that excitement was just like being in watching a team that catch lightning in the bottle and finally gets good after a long time. And Indiana actually been there.
Well. I want to stop you real quick.
Okay.
I think it's two totally different things.
Yeah.
I think Indiana is here for the long haul.
Oh no. I agree. I agree.
What's the head coach of Rutgers' name again? I forget his name.
Greg Schiano.
Greg Schiano. Who he was there when Rutgers had the flash in the pan.
Yeah.
And they might have had something, and for whatever reason, he thought he could do better. Went somewhere else. Went to the league. NFL. Got smacked around. Came back, and they still haven't been able to put it together.
Right.
So
they've been close, but
I'm not a Rutgers hater.
Yeah.
Not a Rutgers fan.
Right.
I just feel like they've been so mediocre and so bummed for so long.
Yeah.
They need a Curt Cignetti. I wish Curt Cignetti would have went to Rutgers and changed it.
Could you imagine?
Because it would have been Jersey would have been so wild.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, we going from a tangent. Why would any 5-star recruits want to go to Rutgers? Like if you go to any place, the culture's not there, the campus is not the best campus. Don't get me wrong, there's some dope shit about Rutgers. But if you're coming from Florida and you a top product of Florida, why you going to Central Jersey? Why you going to New Brunswick first? That's not a destination.
The best selling point they got is that, and but social media has changed it so much because when we was there, social media was good, but it wasn't everything.
It was just Facebook. And
yeah. It wasn't everything, and then the landscape of social media changed where you could be out in the middle of Iowa and it looked jumping out there, right?
True, very true.
And that's where Rutgers loses because before it was like, oh, we in the media capital of the world. We 45 minutes from New York. You could go to Philly. You could do everything. Now social media is wherever you are. You gotta be you gotta be the star. And so I definitely understand where you coming from. Where you say why would anybody want to go Rutgers?
And I'll be realistic with you. If you're in New Brunswick, you're not making that trip to New York City or Philly regularly.
No,
it's a pain in the ass.
Nah,
it ain't like you're in North Jersey where it's a 15-minute drive.
Well, you would go to New York faster than you would go to Philly because
but it's still
a ride.
It's still like an hour drive for you.
Yeah,
to go to some part.
Well, they got the train right there, but still,
it's not. It ain't like you right there. It ain't
right.
town. You're gonna be in the college town most of your life.
Fair.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I feel you, and I do agree with you when you said that Curt Cignetti is here for the long haul because he's a program builder, and like you said, all he does is win. I was actually paying attention to him when he was at James Madison, and I think I was just like, yo, this guy, because that's when James Madison was on. Okay, I remember why I was paying attention to him. I started paying attention to Coach Cignetti because my nephew was going to go there, or he got recruited by them, and I was like, all right, let me look at these schools. He ended up going to Norfolk State, but I was like, let me look at the schools and stuff like that. And I started paying attention to him. I'm like, oh, this is a good coach. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But never in my life, I didn't even know about the stuff where he was at Alabama before he started with Nick Saban. He was on Nick Saban's first staff and all the things.
What positions he was assistant coach.
Yeah.
And I was just watching an interview with him. And there was no beef or anything like that. It's just hard to make that jump from assistant coach to head coach or even offense coordinator, defense coordinator. So he had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
For a D2 school, I think, or D3. IUP is either D2 or D3.
D2.
They're D2. My business partner, Mike, went to IUP.
Yeah.
And he turned that program around.
Okay.
Right?
He was there with
No, he graduated the year as he was coming in.
Okay.
So
but he was paying attention to them because he
himself thought Cignetti was gonna be trash.
Yeah.
Or he was a fluke. Not even trash. Just like he turned the program around, but that's a fluke.
Yeah.
How you go and you go to Elon?
Yeah.
Turn the program around. I think they had like a 2-win season and they go to the championship the next year as soon as he gets down there.
Right.
But this is like as soon as he comes into the program, you jump from a 2-win team to a 10-win team. Right? The numbers might be off a little bit. Then you go to James Madison, and they were already winning, but you even enhanced the program. And then your first year going from FCS to FBS, you are the top of the conference. You win your conference.
They was bowl. I think they wasn't they one of the teams. They was bowl eligible.
No, but this before they didn't make it to the playoffs. But they were bowl eligible.
They were bowl eligible, and they couldn't go, and they tried to sue or they tried to say
because you need 2 years to be in FBS bowl eligible. But your first year going from playing fucking, pardon my language.
Yeah, that's cool.
Playing for Maine, Villanova. You're playing good quality. You're playing FCS talent, which is top tier talent. It's not wrong. It's good football. Then you're going up to a level and you're dominating at the high level.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. Right there, it should have been the light bulb should have went off like, oh, who is this dude? Like, what is he doing?
Right.
And then to go from James Madison to Indiana and take your James Madison players, who, let's be honest, are still technically FCS quality players, top FCS quality players, or low tier 1A players. Not all of them.
So because remember that COVID year messed everybody up.
Okay.
And then there's players that didn't get recruited or missed because of all that stuff.
But the cracks that they might have been highly recruited if it wasn't for COVID or whatever.
Yeah.
But let's be clear, there's still James Madison players, bro.
True.
Nobody's checking for James Madison. Nobody's checking for Charlotte. Nobody's checking for Liberty.
Right.
Even though Liberty had a good year in Coastal Carolina, those teams that made the jump up. So these are players that nobody's checking for. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that's pissing me off is I've been all through TikTok, I've been all through Instagram, all the salty Alabama fans, all the salty Miami fans, but they got kids that are 24, 25 years old.
So everybody
Who
else.
cares? So you mean to tell me that these 1-star, 2-star, 0-star recruited players that are 25 years old are beating these juniors that are 4-star, 5-stars?
Right.
Are you telling me that? And that's your excuse for the reason why they won? You got to be out your mind. Nobody wanted these guys. Elijah Surratt, he's going to be a draft pick.
First round
draft pick. Yeah. You know my boy came out of St. Francis, which is in the NEC, which is a mid-level FCS school. Okay. They're not even with the North Dakotas and the big dogs of the FCS.
Okay.
They just very subpar. Like nobody's just
checking for them.
Yeah.
Right.
And those are the players that are making your plays.
Right.
Becker, he's a sophomore. He only reason why he plays is because Cooper got hurt. Nobody was looking for him. He was ready to transfer out of there. Right. The center from Notre Dame. They kicked him out because they got a better center for somebody else, and then he ended up going to Indiana.
Right.
So Indiana's full of stories of these guys that nobody wanted. These big programs did not want them.
I think they got one lineman.
It's not everybody. I'm not going to act like every single player on there is a bum. No, they're not.
No, but I'm just saying they had one lineman because I was watching him.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Colorado. He was at Indiana before Cignetti. Then when Cignetti came in, he bounced, went to Colorado because I'm just like you are a fan of Cignetti. I'm a fan of Coach Prime. That's how I watch Coach Prime.
I'm a fan of Coach Prime too. Let me talk a little bit. I'll let you finish. I'm gonna talk about that.
Yeah, but Benson went there and then double back and went back to Indiana. And I looked the other day, I'm like, no, he a starting offensive lineman at Indiana right now, and he's doing his thing. And he might get drafted just because he made the right decision to double back.
A lot of players that weren't getting looked at out of Indiana are going to get looked at now. But let's go back to the Coach Prime thing. I was so happy to see Prime get the Colorado job and be able to do some damage when Shador was there and his other sons were there. But I'm going to be honest, I'm very disappointed in him right now. Like, because I have a lot of hope. I had a lot of hope of him changing that program around for real. And when you're comparing Cignetti to
I don't
Prime,
think you
which
can.
you shouldn't, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Prime, I thought Prime was going to do everything that Cignetti did, and he wasn't able to do it. Like, he had a nice first year.
Okay.
They didn't even make the playoffs that year. I don't think. Did they make the playoffs that year?
They was on the cusp. They was on the cusp. If Houston would have beat BYU, which they almost did, and Houston ended up being a better team this year. But if Houston would have beat BYU, they would have went to the playoffs.
So that year, I was so locked in. I was rooting for Colorado every single game. I'm still rooting for them. I'm rooting for Prime all day, every day. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention as much. I don't know what the disconnect is.
It was the transition at quarterback. They said that you know, they got all these general managers now in college, and what happened was they said the general manager, I don't know, Corey Phillips, no shade to you, but they said that Corey Phillips was doing the star thing instead of doing the Cignetti thing, height, weight, speed.
Talk about that.
How Cignetti says, I need to see ankle flexibility and all these things. So he wasn't digging deep into the thing, and then they said that I think he was sick. He had the cancer diagnosis, all that stuff. So he was away from the team for a while, and the young quarterback, Julian Lewis, that they got there now.
He's supposed to be a dog, right?
Yeah, he nice. Like the games he played, the last down the stretch, he showed that he had the ability. But a lot of people were saying he should have started from the beginning. I seen the quarterback. They was in the first because they played like Georgia Tech. They had like
what's their record? You know the record at the end of the year?
It was like 3 and something.
Yeah.
And I would say that if they had different quarterback play, they would have at least won 8 games.
Okay.
There was a couple 2 blowouts. The BYU, no, not BYU, not the BYU. Utah and another team blew them out.
Utah's a good team.
Yeah. But I think if they had better quarterback play, they would have won more games. Even with the team they had as they were and all of those stuff that happened that didn't keep them up to par, they would have, because Georgia Tech and went down to the wire. Houston, it was a blowout, but every other game went down to the fourth quarter, and Utah was the only blowout, and Houston was the only blowout. Every other game, they was in it to the end, but the quarterback just threw it. The one they had starting, Caden Salter, he just threw interceptions, and it just ain't look good. So I would say that it wasn't this year. I think you're going to see the difference, though.
I hope so, because I don't want it to be a situation where Prime is all spotlights, glitz and glamour, but then no actual substance underneath it, right? I want them to actually finish and be able to do what Curt Cignetti's been able to do, even if it's not win a national champion. Get to the playoffs.
I watch Well Off Media often. Like I watched it. Like I've been on Prime since he was at Jackson State. I mean, I watched him. I was writing for a publication, Respect Magazine, at the time, and I was trying to push some stuff through. They had a difference of opinion with the magazine was going to be.
Okay.
They wanted to be more hip hop. I was like, even if it's still more hip hop, y'all can still cover Coach Prime because he's the culture. Whatever the case.
The hip hop coach. I don't think anybody says it's all
intertwined. Yeah. It didn't work out, but that's when I got on the Well Off Media videos. And I started watching them, and just watching I think the level of detail and focus that he has, because he's not like one of them types that just take an L lightly. Like, all right, better luck next time. It looked like he digging in on this offseason and just like being like, he hyper focused. Like I'm
Keeping
not
his mouth
doing
shut,
that
not
again.
talking crazy, he's gonna get to work.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see.
yeah,
Let's get all the spotlights and glitz and glamour out the way.
yeah,
Dig in, shut up and just work
Yeah.
hard and see, and then let your play speak for yourself.
yeah,
But as you were saying before, you had mentioned went back to saying all about stars, right?
yeah,
And the blueprint that Cignetti has
yeah.
is that it's not that stars don't matter because
A 5-star is a 5-star.
A 5-star is a 5-star. You can see the talent.
Mm-hmm.
But he's evaluating these in the transfer portals. It's a different era now. It's not what it was 10 years ago.
Right.
If you were 2-star, but you giving 5-star production on the field, and your film is demonstrating that you're not giving up sacks as a lineman, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got 5'9". I mean, what's the
corner?
The corner.
Logan,
D'Angelo
something
Pons.
Logan.
D'Angelo
Yeah.
Pons. He's
Vine.
a short corner,
Right.
laying the boom, no pun intended, on these wide receivers, breaking shit up. Nobody was checking for him. So he's taking these guys that don't have the stars, but when they come on the field, they're coachable, number one. They do have talent. It's not like these guys don't have any talent,
Right.
but they're not superstars by any stretch of imagination. He mentioned their strength and condition staff is just top tier, and they're getting guys that are good players and turning them into great players because of the work they're putting in from strength and conditioning. And these guys just want it. They have the chip on the shoulder. So the chip in the shoulder, and you combine all that, and you pay attention to detail, and you're being coached well, and your coaches said just do the stuff that works and just stay focused. This is your job. Do your job, and we're going to win football games. Have shown because no other top-tier team was blowing out teams the way they were.
No.
Right? So Iowa gave them a problem, right?
Penn State.
Obviously, Penn State gave them a problem, and let's get it twisted. Not get it twisted. Penn State, Miami, Ohio State, all of those teams have better talent than Indiana, point blank, period. I was watching the Miami defensive line has multiple freaking first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
Bain is a problem. There's nobody on Indiana's team defense that is as good as Bain.
Right.
We're not even going to discuss that talent part.
Right.
But if you got good enough talent, great coaching, don't get penalized. You're not doing stupid stuff. They had a few penalties in the national championship.
Yeah.
They probably
That's what gave Miami the chance to kind of.
Yeah, and they almost came. Miami, I was on the edge of my seat towards that fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's the only
Shit was getting ugly.
That
shook.
was the only time you saw Cignetti break that character face that he had, because he was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "All right,
They was
it is
clicking.
what." Yeah,
They was clicking. Running back, that young boy, number 10.
I know who you talking about.
Miami,
I know who you talking about. I can't think of his name either.
I was
But
talking about him yesterday.
yeah,
He's a problem. He's supposed to be in high school right now. His
you know who he remind me of?
Who?
Remember when what's the name from Clemson?
Running back.
No, receiver. Remember that receiver from Clemson? He ain't do much when he got to the league, but when he was at Clemson, he was killing it.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of. He remind me
I
of
love players like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But he's the dog. But he's only 18 years old or 19 years old.
Yeah,
And he's playing with the big dog.
he was supposed to be in high school this year.
He's supposed to be in high school. So
Yeah.
I love to see that. Like, I love Miami. Like,
Yeah.
I like this for me. It was hard.
Sammy, I can't think of his name. Sammy, I gotta Google him. But go ahead, talk you.
So I love Miami traditionally. Like, I mean, Miami's always had dogs. I love to see them play. When they're great, they're great. I want to see them succeed and win. It was just, for me, the story of
Sammy Watkins, my bad.
Watkins, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Watkins. The story of Indiana would be more impactful to me if they finished it out than it would be if Miami won. If Miami won, to say, okay, it's just another trophy that they've always had. Yeah, they're finally back. It's nostalgic for us that grew up on Miami football being great.
Yeah.
And I think that's dope too. But I think the fact that you come from the garbage can, you come from the bottom of the worst team in FBS.
Well, I'm a disagree
come
with
up.
you.
Okay.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Indiana was always one of them teams that was right there. They just needed something, because I remember they was taking it to Ohio State. They was taking it to Penn State certain games with the old coach, but they didn't have that. They didn't have that Cignetti magic that helped them turn the corner.
So if you actually look at the wins and losses of their overall program history, they've had flashes of decent years. Where they do, like, I mean, Michael Penix was there for a little while.
Yeah.
Michael Penix was there. They had a good season. I think he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
And then everything went to shit.
Yeah.
They've had, over 500 teams, but the overwhelmingly majority of their program
Oh yeah.
has been
Absolutely.
losing seasons.
Yeah.
There's somebody that you put on there on the schedule and you look at him like, yeah, I'm about to cook these.
Yeah.
At the stats.
Yeah.
And, you know,
the last time I really remember them being relevant when they had before the current era is when they had Antoine Randall Love.
Antoine Randall, yeah.
Yeah.
Antoine Randall was a superstar in himself by himself.
Yeah.
He was just a dog by
Yeah.
himself. Like, that's a generational kind of talent right there. He
Right.
gets shit done. But like, Indiana has been a laughingstock the same way Rutgers has been a laughingstock. They both on the same page as of just bottom tier Big Ten.
Not no more.
Big Ten. You know, Indiana's
Yeah.
not that right now. And
Yeah.
Indiana is still cooking in the transfer portal, getting guys that produce, that are are coachable, and it's gonna be exciting to see what they do in the Big Ten for the future. And the SEC better be on alert because
the SEC, like you just led to my point.
It's not a dub.
It's not a dub, but what you saying right now, like all the Big Ten needed was one or two more teams to step up into the. We know Ohio State gonna be all right. We know Michigan gonna be all right. Like all that happened in Michigan, 2 years they could be down for 2 years and back up in one. So you always gonna have them two fighting for the top.
Always gonna be dog. They always gonna be
the big dog. Penn State.
It's always gonna be.
Good. I think Penn State actually just got better, which made the Big Ten better because they got that coach. He's the guy.
He's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's solid.
And so now you got, huh?
He's from Utah too, as well. I think he's from Utah.
No, he from Iowa State. He was from Iowa State, where they ain't got no bread like that.
So yeah, that's a good move.
And he had them winning the Big 12. So he been winning for a while. Now you giving him the war chest.
So now we're talking about Oregon. We're talking about Penn State. We're talking about Ohio State. We're talking about Michigan, and we're talking about Indiana.
Yeah.
Those are 5 teams that can be a gauntlet to go through if they all on their shit.
And then you forget that USC is right there floating around.
Yeah, you can't take them lightly.
Yeah.
If they ever got back to prominence like the Reggie Bush era of
it's a dub.
Pete Carroll era, the Pete Carroll era, it's going to be a problem. Even Washington, is Washington Big Ten, right?
Yeah. Well, they went to the national championship.
You can't sleep on them. They're not
2 years ago.
Yeah, they're not going to be. That's when. What's the name from Alabama? Brian Daboll.
Yeah.
Daboll. That's the name, right? Alabama.
Kalen DeBoer. No, I can see where you get that mixed up.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
So that's how he got the Alabama job.
Right.
He's not doing a bad job. He's just not doing. It's hard to follow up Saban.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna have to figure it out for himself.
He probably should have stayed at Washington for like 2 more, and then waited for the next guy to trip up, and then go take that job.
The whole narrative that the SEC is washed, I think, is ridiculous. I think they might go through their down times, but you're gonna.
The thing is, I don't think it's washed. I think the power structure has changed. It's not going to be Alabama and then everybody else.
No.
Texas A&M, they not going nowhere for a while.
Texas not going nowhere.
Texas not going nowhere for a while.
Oklahoma. They're going to be in the mix.
Yeah. So I just think it's the power structure where Alabama might be every 4 years instead of every year. Georgia.
LSU going to be a problem this year if Georgia's always going to be in the mix.
Ole Miss might not be going nowhere.
Yeah, I think they're going to be decent too.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like the Arkansas, get them out of here.
Yeah.
But even then, you can't never sleep.
Yeah. Auburn.
Maybe one day Florida will come back to prominence. Who knows? The Gators, we don't know.
Auburn good for every 5th year.
They'll
like
surprise you.
Yeah.
So this SEC is not trash. But the Big Ten is not trash.
Nah.
And everybody acting like the SEC is this unstoppable juggernaut that nobody could touch is ridiculous. And every year the playoffs have shown that in recent couple years.
Yeah.
Because they're getting beat by ACC schools and Big Ten schools throughout the playoffs.
The worst thing that happened to the SEC is Urban Meyer decided to go to Ohio State and turn them into a SEC style program, and that upped the ante. Then Harbaugh came in and slowly but surely turned Michigan into a heavyweight, and returning them to a heavyweight. So them two returning to that. Ohio State really been on a run for a while. I'm not going to shade them for it, but when Urban Meyer came in, he kind of turned them over, got them over the hump, and that's that thing with them. And so, yeah, it's gonna be the Big Ten, and it's gonna be the SEC.
Fans and these pure diehard fans, you're gonna have to understand that your teams are no longer gonna go on these Nick Saban runs anymore. I think those days are long gone. Maybe Cignetti could do it, but like these perennial powerhouses where you're winning the Natty without a doubt every single year, it's not happening. There's too much good talent across the board with coaching and players. So like one day Ryan Day might just be his year this year.
Yeah.
Next year it might be Lane Kiffin's year.
Yeah.
There's too much good shit going on.
Oh shoot! Look at we just talked about this when we was talking about Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan, whatever happened with the coach, that's his business.
Yeah.
But they don't went out and got the Utah coach to come over there.
And that's what I meant.
Yeah.
The Michigan, yes. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you know how his programs get down.
They not fucking around.
And I guarantee you, I don't know how the offense gonna look, but that defense,
it's gonna be stout.
That defense gonna be stout.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle Whittingham, he's a problem.
Utah's another team that nobody's checking for, but that coach was able to do some damage with them. Nobody was checking for
and that coach been there since Urban Meyer
and they've been
left.
decent for a little while now.
Yeah.
Utah ain't been no slouches for a while. They've been playoff and close to it for a minute.
I remember it was like 1 year, Utah kept putting defensive linemen in the league.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, who? And I thought I was like, dang, how many? It was somebody named something Kruger or something like that. He played for the Bengals. I was like, how many of these jokers is it? One was for the Bengals, one played for the Ravens, and then they had like all these defensive linemen. I was just like, yo.
That's the beauty about Division I football is you can have a 0-11 team that won no game and there's going to be a player on there that's the best defensive lineman for whatever reason.
What was the point in the national championship that what made this national championship a good game or a great game for you in your mind?
So I was hoping for the blowout from Indiana, but I knew deep down inside, I just knew that Miami was too talented to allow that to happen, and they were clicking. They seemed to be clicking all throughout the playoffs, and to be able to not destroy Ohio State, but beat them like that. And for the national championship, what made it a good game, you saying?
Yeah, what made it a good game in your mind?
So it was one point where Indiana went up 10, but it wasn't an easy 10. And I could see like that. They put up the time. And hopefully they can put gas on the fire and take off and maybe make it like a 21-point lead to 0. Didn't happen. Then all of a sudden Miami started cooking. Running back breaks off for a long run. The young boy number 10 breaks off, and then now it's a game. It's like a close game, the whole game. And my favorite part was when, and this is historical, this is going to be a legendary thing, people have been talking about this for a long time, is when Cignetti put a timeout when it was 4th and 5, and then he puts the ball in Mendoza's hands, and Mendoza goes and makes a freaking play. He goes up the middle, quarterback draw, gets hit, spins, put his hands on the ground, and dives into the end zone. That is just like, you can't script up a better play for a movie.
Right.
That was just like a movie style kind of play.
Right.
And just everything played out perfectly in that situation. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a big Mendoza fan, but I don't have a choice to be a big Mendoza fan. I think he's a winner. I think he has an X factor. I don't think he's no Caleb Williams when it comes to talent. Like, we see Caleb Williams, he just does some wild stuff that's just amazing. Right. And I don't like Caleb Williams because I just don't like his personality.
It's okay.
If you're going to be honest, but I cannot deny the talent of the young boy.
Right.
Mendoza is not that.
Right.
What I think Mendoza does make up for in that it factor, and he's a student of the game.
Yeah.
He lives it. He lives, dies, and breathes it. He is a stand-up character. I don't think his good character is an image. I really think that's really who he is.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're that Christy and good, it's kind of annoying. It's like,
yeah.
Come on, bro. Let me see you smoke blunt or something. Like, do something big. Like, let me see that you get a little dirty. Like, you like the rest. Like, nobody's perfect. I'm sure he has his flaws. He's a human being.
Right.
But I'm a Raiders fan. We suck. We're the worst team ever.
I was just about to ask you who your squad.
I'm a Raiders fan. I've been a Raiders fan since. I'm not a bandwagon Raiders fan. I've been a Raiders fan since I was 5 years old. My dad's a Raiders fan.
Okay.
So like I was just kind of born into the Raiders fan. I just happen to love the culture around it. The hat. Even if you're not a Raiders fan, people wear Raiders merch because
right.
It's hip hop culture.
It's everything.
Everything. It's everything.
A Woodson jersey.
We've had
for sure.
Yeah, we're here. Like Raiders fans are all over the country.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with that, and we're probably going to draft him number 1. And I do think he can help us out in the long haul. Is he the most talented? No.
Who you want to be your head coach?
I think we're going to have to go with the Kubiaks.
Okay.
The Kubiak brothers.
Okay.
But people are getting snatched up left and right. I would have took McDaniels for Miami. I would have took him. I would have took Tomlin. He don't want nothing to do with it. I would have loved to have Harbaugh. The candidates are not really that much. And what I don't want to happen is what we did last year is we wait till the last minute and then we end up having to just like scramble for stuff.
Well, the good thing is if you get Kubiak, you're gonna get that
his brother too, I think.
you're going to get that 49ers system.
Yep.
That 49, because a lot of people forget that, you know, the Broncos system is the same thing. Kubiak and Shanahan was together, so you're going to get that style of play. I think that'll benefit. Ashton Genty a lot. That having that style of play, and I think it will benefit Mendoza as a quarterback, because I think that system is quarterback friendly.
Yes, and he would thrive in something like that.
Yeah,
he would be better. Like if Brock Purdy can do it, he can do it.
Yeah.
So the Raiders are lacking an offensive line. Our offensive line is horrific. We have Brock Bowers, who's freaking amazing as a tight end. He's pretty much a wide receiver that can play tight end, that can block and do freaking everything. Ashton Genty has shown that he can play in the NFL and break off big runs, even with a terrible offensive line. So it's the pieces are there. We have decent wide receivers, not great wide receivers. We need one more stud. We need a stud wide receiver and line.
I think the Cowboys mess around and not pay George Pickens. He'll be right over there with y'all.
We'll take him on, bring him over.
Right.
The only thing is our league, our division is just disgustingly good.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, Harbaugh.
But that's the thing. You get the right coach. It really. I mean, Sean Payton got his thumb on the pulse of the Broncos.
Yeah.
But you get the right coach in there, and it's really like every other year. Ain't gonna be no. It's gonna be a slugfest.
It's a slugfest. You have to be in it every year.
Right.
I'm not a Bo Nix fan, and Bo Nix was ball. He was doing his thing.
Yeah.
Something about him I just don't like. I just don't care.
I don't like Bo Nix either, but
he's doing it. But they're winning.
He's doing his thing.
They're winning in a stout Broncos defense. You know, interested to see what the Giants is going to do. I'm not a Giants fan, but I'm not a Giants hater. I'm in the Northeast, so if they win,
so here's an interesting question I got for you. Even though you're not necessarily a Giants fan, do you think Harbaugh is going to be a little salty that they fired? What's the name? Yeah, he took the Giants job, but he got to build that up. Whereas he could have went over there with Josh Allen, and it's already
he goes to the Bills.
Yeah,
it's scary.
Yeah,
it's very scary because you're trading now Lamar. You're getting Lamar. You
for
leave
Josh,
Lamar to go to Josh.
Yeah.
They've always been kind of battling each other for the MVP all the time. Anyway,
I just think
it'd be a problem. It would have
been a problem, but we'll see. I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna do all right with the Giants. I think
that the Giants. I don't follow them too closely, but what I have seen is that I really enjoyed watching them in the beginning of the season because all those young players just had a lot of spark in them, and they just had a lot of hunger and a lot of dog in them. I love Cam Scatterboo. I love the way he was running the rock. That's another dude that I was watching in college that people were just like looking at him like, who the hell is this guy? Like, have you watched the film? A lot of people don't watch the film. They just make judgments based off of brand names and like he's a white boy playing running back. You don't see that often. But I don't care about color. What about production? Because Cam Scatterboo is a dog. And if you just watch that Arizona games he was in, as a former running back myself, it just makes me feel good to see shit like that.
My only fear for Cam Scatterboo is that he end up being Marion Barber, where he runs so hard that his legacy don't get a long run. You know what I mean?
He's bugging. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he runs his ass off. But he has to chill with the backflips in the end zone. He has to chill with leading with his head. Yeah. He has to chill with certain. And granted, the injury that he had was a freak accident. That had nothing to do with any of that hard running that he's doing. That's just he landed wrong and just snap. Pop, whatever. But I think he knows when he bounces back, he's gonna probably reevaluate and be like, okay, I could run hard, but I have to be smart at the same time. Maybe I'll go out of bounds and avoid because you're not the biggest dude in the world either.
Right.
So you keep on playing the way you've been playing, you might only be in the league 2-3 years.
Yeah.
All right. But that combination, they get Malik Neighbors back, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, they clean some up. Harbaugh comes in there with a plan and just a mature person that's been there, done that knows how to win. That coach is gonna go. I saw
the press conference and I was like, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm like,
it's gonna be a problem for you. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
This guy's already got dialed in.
So it's up for grabs. Cowboys can do some damage.
I like our coach. I'm not gonna lie. When I had not much confidence in Schottenheimer coming in, but
offense is clicking.
Huh?
I feel like your offense was clicking.
The offense was doing what it was. The defense was trash. Like there's some games we just lost because we just lost. When we lost that Broncos game. That was a straight up butt whooping. However, that should have been a bad taste in the mouth to get right. Jerry made the trades. The defenses got right for 3-4 games, and then all of a sudden, the house of cards fell apart.
Yeah.
However, I think with an off season and with a better defensive coordinator, it's a couple good ones out there. If the Cowboys make the right decision, obviously, Brian Flores is out there. Raheem Morris did his thing. I know he got fired in Atlanta, but he had the Rams looking right.
Mm-hmm.
So you got some options out there.
Yeah.
Or you could go back to Al Harris and see if you could get him, scoop him up, whatever the case may be. If they can get that defense coordinated the right way and make some draft picks, we should be all right.
But it ain't gonna be. The division won't be easy because the Philly didn't end the way they wanted it to end, but they still not no slouches.
Mm-hmm.
They still got talent.
The Commanders
They
are
still
not no
can win.
slouches.
Yep.
They just got to keep their quarterback healthy.
Man, Jaden Daniels, he put some weight on.
Mm.
And the Giants lost a lot of games by a score or less.
Yeah.
And they were in it. They were in a lot of games that they could have easily have been 8-1, 7 more games, 8 more games.
True.
That ended in the fourth quarter on the last minute. So
True.
That could be that's coaching could be the difference of that. Even if they don't change any roster moves, just the coaching alone can change those outcomes of those games.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, back to Cignetti, Indiana. Go Hoosiers. I am a Hoosier fan now, even though I wasn't before.
I think you good. I don't think you gonna have to switch up. I think the money that everybody like, yo, he need to go to the NFL. Nah, I think he need to stay there and eat.
So he actually answered that question as well. They asked him if he would ever consider NFL. He had chances to go. He had chances to go with some of his old staff that had transitioned to the NFL, and he said it just wasn't for him. It just wasn't something that he was interested in. He always loved college football. I don't see him doing that.
He looked like you said, Shiano made the mistake of thinking he was gonna go to Tampa and do all that stuff, and that stuff was gonna work. I feel like Shiano is a college football coach, and again, going back to your point, he should have never left. Shiano has admitted that he never left. And I think when you know that you
shouldn't have left. He admitted he shouldn't have left.
Yeah, he admitted that. Yeah. And he said, if I would have never left, we wouldn't have been this place wouldn't be in the place it was in. And I will say that Cignetti just gives me Joe Paterno vibes.
No, stop. He's not stopping. He's 60-something years old.
Yeah.
He has time. He has another 8 to 10 years in him, I think.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna have to pack it up after that.
And if he gets one more championship,
solidified.
Even if he makes it to the game and don't win another one, he's still
people using excuses. Oh, this is the transfer portal era. And luckily, he can buy players. He didn't buy the players that won this championship.
Nah, those
maybe next you could use that excuse maybe in the next 2-3 years if he wins it again.
Yeah,
because now he has the money. Your man's from Shark Tank, Mark Cuban, is an IU alum.
Yeah,
he's pouring money into Cignetti in Indiana.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna start seeing these big dogs coming to Indiana now. But that ain't that ain't the reason they won the national championship. They won. Let's be clear. They won the national championship because they outcoached everybody else. They believed in the system, and they don't make stupid mistakes, and they play good football, sound football.
No, I think Cignetti is the blueprint, and here's why. What you just said, you brought up something important about Mark Cuban being pouring all the money into the program, and what I'll say is a lot of these big wigs who want to go around the NFL and be NFL owners without NFL, college football is the way to go. And so people are going to look at Curt Cignetti as the blueprint to have a coach to in place that's making sound decisions and doing the right things so that they know they're not wasting their money and they getting a return on ROI, return on investment.
Yep.
And that's the beautiful thing, because I think there's going to be a lot of people who may not be alums of schools that got it like that, and they're like, you know what, I could, man, forget the 32 ownerships and all that other stuff that they got up there. I got a team right here that I could just control
1,000%.
Yeah, and so it's there.
And I saw somebody. I was watching some a blog, or not a blog, but like a podcast on TikTok, and they were saying that, you know, if Curt Cignetti would have had an Alabama job, for instance, right? Yeah. They would look at him crazy if he started recruiting these 2 stars or 3 stars that were producing on the field instead of a 5-star guy.
Wow.
The institution and the fans would be fucking pissed.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
If he did that same plan at Indiana that he did at one of these blue chip, historically great schools, they would look at him like it's nuts. He said, no, I'm gonna go to Indiana. I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna only get the recruits that produce. Even I don't care what their stars say.
Right.
They are producing in the field. They coming from these mid-major conference USA, American, MAC. Okay, let me grab these stars from the MAC, American Conference. These from Tulane, the Tulanes of the world and the Louisiana Monroes of the world. Let me grab the stars off their team, bring them over here, and produce.
Like I said, when we talked about Coach Prime earlier, and this is why I say he's been locked in. I don't necessarily say he's doing the Curt Cignetti blueprint, but if you see how it's similar how he's doing it, he's been tackling this off season. Like they say, they got like a recruiting staff, and they got like a what you call it, like a room where they looking at the film, and they taking a piece of paper, and they doing the evaluation, then pass it to the next person, evaluation, pass it to, and then the last person that sees the film is Coach Prime, and he signs off on everybody they recruiting right now, where it's like that meticulous, detailed, like this person is long enough, this person is tall enough, this person is fast enough, or can I teach this, can I do this? And then obviously, you got to worry about the character stuff.
And it's production on the field.
And the production, where that's the type of approach he's taking, where I think it's kind of interesting. It's like inverse, right? Coach Prime made it popular to kind of hire the outsider. Then you saw other coaches, some people with names start getting jobs. And then I think it opened the lane for Cignetti. Then Cignetti got in there, opened that lane even more, and show you, okay, this is how you do it. And this is how you get a 2-star, but he fits into my system. And now everybody's copying these two blueprints.
Does he fit into my system?
Yeah. That's
it. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
You're leading with that. You're not leading with the glitz and like.
Yeah.
You want to have a Mercedes Benz, but the shit got 1,000 miles on it, and it's gonna break down on you. Like.
Yeah. Doesn't fit into your lifestyle. Doesn't fit into
good.
your budget.
Yeah, you're gonna drive down the street. Everybody's gonna look at you, but you're drink breaking down all the time. Like
right.
Kind of players that you don't want.
Yeah.
Yes,